Osho, The Messiah, Volume 2, Reflections on Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, given at the Osho Commune International, Pune, India. Discourse number 4.
Commentaries by Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh on Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. Beloved Bhagwan. And a woman spoke, saying, "Tell us of pain." And he said, "Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy, and you would accept the seasons of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons that pass over your fields. And you would watch with serenity through the winters of your grief. Much of your pain is self-chosen. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician, and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. For his hand, though heavy and hard, is guided by the tender hand of the unseen. And the cup he brings, though it burn your lips, has been fashioned of the clay which the potter has moistened with his own sacred tears.
It seems that it is very difficult even for a man of Khalil Gibran's caliber to forget a deep-rooted male chauvinistic attitude. I am saying this because the statements that Al-Mustafa is going to make are right in a way. Still they miss something very essential. Al-Mustafa forgets that the question is raised by a woman. And his answer is very general, applicable to both men and women. But the truth is that the pain and suffering that women of the world have gone through is thousands-fold more than man has even known. That's why I say Al-Mustafa is answering the question, but not the questioner. And unless the questioner is answered, the answer remains superficial, howsoever profound it may sound. I would like you to remind again and again wherever I see that just a small sentence or sometimes just even a word would have made it more truer, far more deeper, far more compassionate. The answer seems to be academic, philosophic. It does not has the insight what man has done to the woman. And it is not a question of one day. For thousands of years, he even does not mention it. On the contrary, he goes on doing the same what the priests and the politicians have been doing always, giving consolations. Behind beautiful words, there is nothing but consolation. And consolation cannot be a substitute for truth. And a woman spoke. Is it not strange that in that whole crowd, no man asked about pain? Is it just accidental? No. Absolutely no. It is very relevant that a woman asks the question, tell us of pain. Because only the woman knows how many wounds she has been carrying, how many slaveries, physical, mental, and spiritual, she has suffered and is still suffering. A woman is hurting in the deepest core of her being. No man knows the depth pain can go into you and destroy your dignity, your pride, your very humanity. Al-Mustafa said, your pain is the breaking of the cell that encloses your understanding. A very poor statement, so superficial that I feel ashamed of Khalil Gibran sometimes. Any idiot can say it. It is not worthy of Khalil Gibran. Your pain is the breaking of the cell that encloses your understanding. It is a very simple and general statement. Even as the stone of the fruit must break that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain. I hate this statement. He is supporting the idea that you must experience pain. It is a truism, but not a truth. It is very factual. A seed has to go in great suffering, because unless the seed dies in his suffering, the tree will never be born. And the great foliage and the beauty of the flowers will never come into existence. But who remembers the seed and its courage to die for the unknown to be born? The same is true. Unless the cell that encloses your understanding goes through suffering, breaks down, allows freedom to your understanding. There is going to be a certain pain. But what is the cell? That's how poets have escaped from crucifixions. He should have explained what is the cell. All the knowledge, all your conditionings, the whole process of your bringing up, your education, your society and civilization, they constitute the cell which keeps you and your understanding imprisoned. But he is not mentioning a single word. What he means by cell. Obviously, no religion has condemned Khalil Gibran. If he was more sincere and honest, then he himself would have known what is pain. He has received only praise for his beautiful poetic saying. But behind that praise, there is some weakness. Something of the coward is still lurking in the darkness of his soul. If he had said that your religion, your philosophy, your political ideology, your nationality, your race, these are all constituents of your imprisonment. Instead of having an international respect, honor, he would have been condemned by all the religions, by all the nations, by all the races, which means almost by the whole world. I have been passing through that pain for my whole life. So when I say it out of my own experience. Just make a single statement against those who are benefited by reducing the whole humanity into slaves. And all the powerful ones are going to be against you. And the masses are blind, and the masses are not intelligent, the masses are poor, they are not going to listen to me, because what I can give to them? I can give to them understanding, but they cannot eat understanding. They cannot live by understanding. And their own conditioning is all that they have been taught that it is wisdom. So not only the powerful ones, but those who are being exploited, whose power has been taken away by the powerful ones, otherwise from where they will get the power? They are going to follow them. The powerful ones are the shepherds, and they have reduced the whole humanity in a crowd of sheep. It is almost unbelievable that those who could have raised the humanity and its consciousness to such beauty, wisdom, and joy have never been heard. Although they were shouting, from the housetops. Every effort has been made that either they should be forced to remain silent or they should be crucified. Those who had not the courage have remained silent, seeing the whole thing. But to remain silent, you are also participating in the suffering the whole humanity is going through. Only very few people have spoken, and they have been poisoned, crucified, killed, assassinated. You have been killing your friends. You have been killing those who have loved you so much that they were ready to sacrifice their life, but not to remain silent. And you have followed your enemies. Who are sucking your blood every moment. When I spoke for the first time for birth control, for legalization of abortion, I was condemned by everyone. If they had listened to me at that time, today India would have been rich. Because when I started telling people that this growth of your population is going to kill you, to destroy you, at that time there were only 400 million people in India. After 30 years, there are 900 million people. $500 million people could have been prevented, and the country would not be starving. But still they are not willing to listen to me. They are still listening to the Shankaracharyas who are against birth control. They are listening to Mother Teresa's who are against birth control. They are your enemies. But it seems you are so blind. You cannot see a simple fact. Al-Mustafa is saying, your pain is the breaking of the cell that encloses your understanding. It is true. But it would have been more sincere if he had explained what he means by the cell, because the whole thing depends on the meaning of the word self. What is the self? People will read it just like a fiction, a poetry, and nobody will ever take note that they have passed a word self which contains your whole past. And unless you are ready to disconnect yourself with your past, there is going to be pain. It is your past. It is not easy just to get out of it. It is not like clothes that you can change. It is like peeling your skin. But without passing through this pain, there is no possibility of any understanding. This is true for both men and women. But it is more true for women. Because the whole past is created by the male. The female has been simply a shadow, not very substantial. All Hindu incarnations of God are men. It is so surprising and shocking that they can accept animals as the incarnation of God, but they have not accepted a single woman as an incarnation of God. The woman has been completely ignored, has not been taken in account at all, and she constitutes half of the world. For thousands of years, she had no voting right. In China, it has been believed that she has no soul. So the question of pain does not arise. If you destroy your furniture, do you think the furniture will go through great suffering? There will be pain. If you slap the table, do you think there will be tears? China, for centuries, has categorized women with the things. Hence, in the Chinese morality, to murder your own wife is not a crime. It is your wife. It is your possession. You can do anything you want to do. In India, Gautam Buddha is a man. His great disciples, Mahakashyapa, Sariputra, Moggulan, all are men. Was not there a single woman? Who could have been raised to the same consciousness? But Gautam Buddha himself was denying initiation to women. They are a species not of humanity, but of some subhuman stage. Why bother with them? Let them first attain manhood. The statement of Gautam Buddha is that man is the crossroads from where you can go anywhere to enlightenment, to ultimate freedom. But the woman is not mentioned at all. She is not a crossroads, but just a dark street where no municipal corporation has even put lights. It goes nowhere. Man is a super highway. So first let the woman come on the super highway. Let her become a man, be born in the body of a man. Then there is some possibility of her becoming enlightened. Says Al-Mustafa, so must you know pain. But for what? Because the woman cannot become enlightened. Why should she go through pain? She is not gold that going through fire she will become purer. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life? Your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. It is true. But sometimes truth can be very dangerous. A double-edged sword. On one hand it protects, on another hand it destroys. It is true that if you keep the wonder in your eyes, you will be surprised to know that even pain has its own sweetness, its own miracle, its own joy. It is not less wondrous than joy itself. But the strange fact is that the woman is always more like a child, more full of wonder than man. Man is always after knowledge. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is just a means to get rid of wonder. The whole science is trying to demystify existence. And the word science means knowledge. And it is a very simple fact that the more you know, the less you wonder. Just go for a morning walk with a small child. My father used to drag me out of the bed so early in the morning, 5 o'clock. It was still 1 hour for the sun to rise. Everything was dark. And I had told him many times that I cannot understand what kind of arithmetic is this. When I want to remain awake, I am forced to go to bed. When the night sky is so full of stars, and I want to go to the river, I am prevented. And when the stars have started disappearing, and the sun has not yet arisen, and I am feeling sleepy, and I am forced to go for a morning walk, you are dragging me. It is not a morning walk. Just I want to understand the logic of it. Every child feels it. Every child, without exception. Because the family wants to get rid of him. Go to sleep. Don't disturb them. And they want the child to get up early in the morning. And he quoted an ancient saying which exists in all the languages all over the world. Early to bed and early to get out of the bed keeps you healthy and wise. It's a strange kind of logic. But there was no way. He was so insistent, I had to go. But as darkness will start disappearing and the birds will start singing and the morning freshness and the beautiful sun rays, as if a new sun has come. The old died last night. I will ask many questions to him. He said, while walking, you have to be silent. I said, I can be silent only on one condition. He said, what? I said, my condition is, don't disturb my sleep in the morning. You can choose. If you wake me up, you also wake my intelligence. It is good that people in England take their dogs for walk. I am not a dog. Either you have to go alone for your walk, wherever you want to go, go. Even if you don't want to return, nobody is to worry about. One day, you will go and you will not return. And that can be any day. But if you drag me out my bed, then be prepared for my questions. And my questions are not curiosities. I feel so full of wonder about each and everything. He said, I cannot leave you sleeping. I am creating a foundation for your whole life. It is a healthy habit because the air is fresh, the sun is young, everybody asleep. All over there is silence, and only the birds sing once in a while. Their singing does not disturb the silence. On the contrary, it deepens it. I said, I am ready. He said, let us have a compromise. I said, I don't believe in compromises. Either I am right or I am wrong. What kind of compromise? What do you mean by it? He said, you have nothing to do. It is all on my part. I will take you for the morning walk. You can ask any questions you like, as many questions you like. But I am not going to answer. I said that. That's perfectly okay. And it was really a joy that I will pull his shirt, nudge him, that there is a question. For a few minutes he will keep silence. Finally, he will get angry. He will say, what kind of boy I have got? You don't allow me to enjoy my walk. And I said, what about my sleep? Finally he dropped. He said, you sleep and I go for a walk. As you grow older, you lose the sensitivity for wonder. You become more and more dull. But the reason of it is that now you know everything. You know nothing. but your mind is now full of borrowed knowledge, and you have not ever thought that underneath it is nothing but darkness and ignorance. In India, there were only two persons who were known as Mahatma, the great soul. One was Mahatma Gandhi, another was Mahatma Bhagwandi. Mahatma Bhagwandi used to stay with my family. He was constantly traveling, and I have never seen such a knowledgeable man about everything. He knew so much. That he was almost the ninth wonder of the world. With him, I used to go for a morning walk. He needed me because he was so full of knowledge. He wanted somebody to ask questions. My father said, "This is strange. I am tired of you." And whenever Mahatma Bhagwandi comes, he asks nobody else company. He simply asks about you. I have to drag you out of the bed. But when he is here, you drag him out of the bed. Not 5, but 4 o'clock will do. Even 3 will do. Let us go for a walk. Sometimes he will say it is too early. I said nothing is early. The earlier it is, the wiser you become. But he enjoyed my company because I was constantly asking about everything. He knew the names of all the trees. He knew all their medicinal use. He himself was a wonder. But one day, our friendship was finished because I asked a wrong question. Although he realized before he died, because I was present 3 days before when he died. He confessed before his death that you were right. Just forgive me, because now I know my life energy is spent. It is only a question of few hours or at the most few days. And you have come in right time to see me. I was waiting for you. Because I owe this apology to you. I said, what you are talking? I had completely forgotten. It was many years before that he had become angry. Because I had asked him that I do understand that you know much about trees, you know much about the stars, you know much about the earth, you know much about everything, and whatever I have asked, you have never said said, I don't know. But now I want to ask, do you know yourself? And don't deceive a child, because that will be real sin. I'm asking out of my love and respect for you. And secondly, is all this knowledge that you have gathered is going to help you to know yourself? And is not all this knowledge simply borrowed? And what is the point that you know the Latin name of the tree? The medicinal use of the leaves, of the bark, of the roots, of the flowers. Is it your own discovery? Or just you have been collecting information? He became angry. I said, your anger is enough answer. You have never become angry before, because I was asking things about which you have collected information. You are a walking Encyclopedia Britannica. That is accepted. But what about you? All this knowledge will disappear when death knocks on your door. And this is not going to help you. He was so angry that he told my father that from tomorrow I am going alone for my morning walk. My father said, I had suggested you from the very beginning. Why take unnecessary trouble with yourself? He said he has never been a trouble up to now, but today he has certainly troubled me. And the whole day has passed, but his question is still ringing into my head. And before he died, it must have been many years afterwards, he died somewhere near 1960. And it was just a coincidence. I was coming from Wardha because Mahatma Gandhi's son Ramdas was very much interested in me, for the simple reason because he said, you are the only man who has criticized my father. Everybody worshipped him. I could see many times that this is going too far in illogical, superstitious things. But he was a man of great weight, and it was better to remain silent, because what has happened with my eldest brother, Haridas, he was thrown out of the home. And my mother was told that if you allow him any entry in the house, remember, you will be the next to be thrown out. and Haridas never could enter the house again. "20 years Mahatma Gandhi lived, but refused always that he does not want even to see his face." And what was his crime? His crime was that he wanted to be educated, and Gandhi was against education. He was against everything that is modern, contemporary. So naturally, other children were very afraid. Ramdas was very much interested in me because I have been criticizing him point by point, and no Gandhian has dared to answer anything. They cannot answer. So when Gandhi died, Ramdas became the head of his ashram. He used to invite me once in a while. So I was coming from Wardha, and Mahatma Bhagwan Din was in Nagpur, which was on the way. Just in the train, a coincidence, one of my friends who was also very intimate with Mahatma Bhagwan Din told me that, "Do you know that he is almost dying any moment? Just stop here at least for one day." I went into the hospital. I have never seen such a sad state. He had remained just bones, just a skeleton covered with skin. And he was continuously coughing and throwing mucus. His lungs were just to fail any moment, and the doctors had said, "We don't have any remedy." Seeing me, he smiled and he said, "I was hoping that somebody informs you, because I wanted, before I depart from the world, to apologize for my anger. You were right. All my knowledge is of no use. The whole world one can know, but unless one knows oneself, it is futile knowledge, a burden that you are carrying for no purpose." He said, "I'm dying. Still, I don't know how to answer you. Your question has remained with me all these years. But I don't know how to know myself. And it is too late. Perhaps tomorrow I will be gone." I said, "It is never too late. Because anybody can be gone tomorrow. Even a young man, perfectly healthy, may be gone tomorrow in a heart attack. Although it will be difficult for you. I see you, you cannot even talk, you are coughing and throwing mucus. and your body has become a skeleton. But even in this condition, a simple meditation, vipassana, may be able to open the doors and as you have realized that all your knowledge is meaningless, you are almost ready to take a jump into silence, into your own inner center, because that is the only thing that is going with you. Before you leave the body, at least be introduced with it. That small introduction with yourself may give you a new life on a higher level. But Al-Mustafa does not mention the fact that women always remain closer to the child than men. That is one of the part of their beauty, their innocence. They don't know. Man has never allowed them to know anything. They know small things about keeping the house and the kitchen and taking care of the children and the husband. These are not the things that can prevent. These are not great knowledge. These can be put aside very easily. That's why whenever a woman has come to listen to me, she has heard me more deeply, more intimately, more lovingly. But when a new man comes to hear to me, he is very resistant, alert, afraid that he may be influenced, hurt if his knowledge is not supported, or if he is very cunning, he goes on interpreting whatever said according to his own knowledge. And he will say, I know it all. There was nothing new. This is a measure to protect his ego, to protect the hard cell, and unless that cell breaks and you find yourself wandering like a child, there is no possibility of your ever being in a space which we have always known as the soul, your very being. And this has been my experience all over the world. That the woman listens and you can see the glitter of wonder in her eyes. It is not superficial. Its roots are deep into her heart. But he does not mention the fact, although the question is asked by a woman, in fact the man is even so cowardly that he is afraid to ask questions, because your question proves your ignorance. All the best questions in Prophet you will find are asked by women. About love, about marriage, about children, about pain. Authentic, real, not about God. Not about any philosophical system, but about life itself. They may not look great questions, but they are really the greatest questions, and the person who can solve them has entered into a new world. But Al-Mustafa answers as if the question has been asked by anybody X, Y, Z. He is not answering the questioner, and my approach is always that the real question is the questioner. Why it has arisen in a woman and not in a man? Because the woman has suffered slavery, the woman has suffered humiliation, the woman has suffered economic dependence, and above all, she has suffered a constant state of pregnancy for centuries. She has lived in pain and pain and pain. The growing child in her does not allow her to eat. She is always feeling like throwing up, vomiting. And when the child has grown up to 9 months, the birth of the child is almost the death of the woman. And she is not even free of one pregnancy, and the husband is ready to make her pregnant again. It seems that the woman's only function is to be a factory to produce crowds. And what is man's function? He does not participate in her pain. 9 months she suffers. The birth of the child she suffers. And what the man does? As far as the man is concerned, he simply uses the woman as an object to fulfill his lust and sexuality. He is not concerned at all that what will be the consequence for the woman. And still he goes on saying that I love you. If he has really loved her, the world would not have been overpopulated. His word love is absolutely empty. He has treated her almost like a cattle. And you would accept the seasons of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons that pass over your fields. True, and yet not absolutely true. True if you forget about the questioner, but not true if you remember the questioner. Just as a philosophical statement, it is true, and you would accept the seasons of your heart. Sometimes there is pleasure, and sometimes there is pain, and sometimes there is just indifference, no pain, no pleasure. He is saying, if you accept the seasons of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons that pass over your fields, superficially, it is true. Acceptance of anything gives you a certain peace, a certain calmness. You are not too much worried. You know, this too will pass. But as far as the woman is concerned, there is a difference. She is constantly living in one season, pain and pain. The seasons don't change from summer to winter or to rain. The woman's life is really hard. It is not so hard today, but only in the advanced countries or in the so-called advancing countries, which are not really advancing, which are really unadvanced countries. Only the word has been changed. They used to be called unadvanced countries. And this is the cunningness of human mind, that the word unadvanced hurts developing countries. Hides the fact that nothing is developing. 80% population of India lives in villages where you can see the real hardship that the woman goes through. And she has been going through that hardship for centuries, and the season does not change. If you see to this fact, then this statement becomes anti-revolutionary. Then this statement becomes a consolation that accept the slavery of man, accept the torture of the man. You will be surprised that one of the great saints that Hindus worship, Tulsidas, it is his book about the life of Rama, which is perhaps the most read book by the Hindus. And he says, just you cannot produce sounds without beating the drum. And of course, Nivedana will support the fact that a drum has to be beaten, otherwise there is no sound. And Tulsidas puts the woman in the same category. The drum, the untouchable, the animals and the woman. Unless you go on beating them, your life will become miserable. So once in a while, a woman has to be beaten, whether there is any excuse for it or not, so that she understands her position. And this man Tulsidas is thought to be one of the greatest saints of Hindus, and I am asked not to criticize. This man is a criminal. It is not a criticism. It is a simple fact that a man who puts the woman in the category of drums, it is good that Nivedana has not read him. Otherwise, the life of Sunyu would be a constant practice of beating. When you are tired with the drum, beat Sunyu. Then only you can keep the woman in control. What kind of people, what kind of saints. And it was his own wife. Without her, he would have never been known to the world. The story is so significant, I would like you to understand. And that will make you understand the statement too. It is really his violence, his anger against his wife. He must have been a very passionate man, too much sexual. And his wife has gone for a few days to his father and mother's house. And it was impossible for him to live without the wife, even for a few days. It was rainy season, and the house of his father-in-law was not far away. Just on one side of the river he lived, on the other side lived the family of his wife. But the river was a mountainous river, and it was raining for days, and the river has become a vast ocean. You could not see the other shore in the middle of the night, but he was so much full of mental cerebral sex that he jumped into the river, and a dead corpse. Lust makes a man blind. He thought it is a piece of a tree. So taking that corpse which was floating in the river as a help, he passed that river. Of course, he was afraid in the middle of the night to enter from the front door. So he went back of the house, and he was immensely happy that a rope was hanging, because his wife lived on the first floor. So there was no need to disturb anybody. He can just catch hold of the rope, go to the first floor. But it was not a rope, it was a snake. That's how lust is blind. And he knocked the doors at his wife's rooms. He came out with a lantern, and she saw the snake. She said, "What have you done? This is a snake, this is not a rope. And why you have come in the middle of the night? And the river is going mad with such current." He said, "My God, perhaps the thing that I had taken the support to pass the river was not wood, because it was smelling, stinking like corpse." The wife said to him that if you had loved God, if you had loved truth with such passion, the way you love me, you would have been a transformed man. Feel ashamed. Go back, because I am feeling ashamed that my husband cannot live for a few days without me, and he is so blind that he cannot see it as a corpse, he cannot see it as a snake. And what my family will say when they will find you in the house in the morning, and how I will show my face to them. Just think of me too. Go back and remember this much energy, this much love. You can find God, and you are being blind for a poor ordinary woman. Insulted, he went back, but not to his home. He traveled to Varanasi, the holy city of the Hindus. He renounced the world. He became a saint because he renounced the world. And he wrote a beautiful book on the life of Rama. And that book is so simple that even villagers who are not educated can understand it. So it became one of the most famous book of the Hindus. And he became a great saint. And can you see the ugliness of his behavior? It was his wife who provoked in him a sense of searching the truth. It was his wife who made him a saint, but he became a saint in anger. And this statement shows his anger towards his wife, but he is not courageous enough to say clearly that I am talking about my wife. He condemns all women. That's how human mind functions. One man deceives you and you start distrusting the whole humanity. He should have worshipped the woman. But his ugliness is that he is taking revenge not only with his wife but with the whole womankind, categorizing them with drums, with animals, with untouchables. Beat them. The better you give them the beating, the more they will be humble, the more they will be within your hands. The woman has lived in such pain. And Al-Mustafa completely forgets who is asking the question. It is possible to accept the change of seasons, but not a slavery for 10,000 years. The season does not change. The woman needs revolt, not acceptability. And man is the most lustful animal on the earth. Because every animal has a season. When the male becomes interested in the female, sometimes the season is only for a few weeks, sometimes a month or 2 months, and then for the whole year, they forget all about sex, they forget all about reproduction. That's why they are not in a situation of overpopulation. It is only man who is sexual all the year round. And if he is American, then he is sexual in the night, he is sexual in the morning. And you are asking the woman to accept the pain. I cannot ask my people to accept such pain which is imposed by others on you. You need a revolution. And if man is treating you as drums, then you have to treat your men also as drums. You have the equal right. Beat your man. So then he remains in his senses. And you would watch with serenity through the winters of your grief. Why? When we can change it, why we should watch? Watch only that which cannot be changed. Watch only that which is natural. Be a witness to it. But this is poetic cunningness, beautiful words, and watch with serenity. And what about Khalil Gibran being beaten by his wife? Watch with serenity. Watch anything that is natural with serenity and revolt against all suffering that is imposed by anybody, whether it is man or woman, whether it is your father or mother, whether it is the priest or the professor, whether it is the government or the society. Revolt. Unless you have a rebellious spirit, you are not alive in the true sense of the word. Much of your pain is self-chosen. This is true. All your misery, all your pain, much of it is not imposed by others. That which is imposed by others, revolt. But that which you have chosen yourself, drop it. There is no need to watch. Just understanding that I have imposed it upon myself is enough. Throw it away. Let others watch. You throw it. Seeing you throwing it, perhaps they will also understand that why unnecessarily suffer. The neighbors are throwing their grief. Your jealousies, your anger, your greed, they all bring pain. Your ambitions, they all bring pain. And they are self-chosen. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Again, he comes back to console you. He is not making a clear-cut distinction that there are pains which are imposed by others. Revolt against them. And there are pains which are natural. Witness them. And witness them with serenity, because it is the bitter medicine. The physician, the nature within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. But remember, it is about the physician, not about your husband, not about the government. They impose pain over you not to heal you, but to destroy you, to crush you. Because the more you are destroyed, more easily you can be dominated. There is no fear of rebellion from your side. So remember who is the physician. Nature heals. Time heals. You simply wait, witness, but be very clear what is natural and what is artificial. For his hand, though heavy and hard, is guided by the tender hand of the unseen. The nature is nothing but the visible part of the invisible God. So even if his hand is heavy and harsh, it is guided by the very spirit of existence. So don't be worried. The cup he brings, though it burn your lips, has been fashioned of the clay which the potter has moistened with his own sacred tears. Whatever is natural, whatever is against which no rebellion is possible, then don't be miserable. Then accept it with gratitude. It is the invisible hand of the divine which wants to heal you, which wants to bring you on a higher state of consciousness. But whatever is unnatural, to yield to any kind of slavery is to destroy your own soul. It is better to die than to live as a slave. Because the death of a rebel gives a dignity to him. Socrates has the dignity even today. He could have easily saved his life. The chief judge has given him opportunity because he also felt that the man has not done any crime, he is innocent. But it was a city democracy, and the votes were divided. There was not much difference. 49% were for Socrates and 51% were against him. But all laws are blind. Just because of 2% people of the city who may be retarded, who may be idiots, who may be mad, they destroyed their best flower. And since then, Greece has never come to the same glory. It has gone down and down, and today, what is status? Greece has in the world? What power? Just killing one man who was their highest consciousness, bringer of the good news to the people, they destroyed him. Because what he was saying was painful. He was saying, to get rid of all that is old. Only then you will be reborn. Only trust in that which is your experience. Otherwise, you are just carrying rubbish. The chief judge was feeling sad. The same sadness was in the heart of Pontius Pilate when Jews asked that Jesus should be crucified. Pontius Pilate was more cultured, more human, and he had no Jewish prejudices because he was not a Jew. The situation with Socrates was very different. He was himself a Greek, and there were many who felt offended because of his height. Every camel feels offended if you take him to the mountains. That's why they never go to the mountains. They live in the desert. There they are the mountains. The judge said, I give you some alternative you can choose. You can leave Athens. And it is only a city-state. You can be just outside the boundary of Athens. And those who love you will reach there. It is not far away. Socrates said no, because that will show that I was more interested in saving my life than fighting for the truth. The judge said, then you do one thing. Remain in Athens. But don't do your teaching work. Stop talking about truth. Be silent. Socrates said, then what is the purpose of my being alive if I cannot speak the truth? Chief just said, then you are putting me into such a helpless situation that the only alternative is to kill you by giving you poison. Socrates said, that seems to be the best out of all the alternatives you have proposed, because at least I can die with dignity, and I will be remembered with dignity. And certainly Greece has not produced another man of the same dignity. With Socrates, something essential died in the very soul of that land. So always remember that truth is higher than lie. Everything can be sacrificed, but truth cannot be sacrificed. Okay, Bima?
Yes, Bhagwan.